Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is going to be my test of the Spyderco Manix 2 with the Sabre Ground. I've been doing a lot of videos about this knife, basically on how it's been faring, how it's been handling what I've been putting it through. I bring this knife to work a lot. I do use it to break down cardboard, and since this is my first actual testing video, I figure what better way to start off my testing videos than to do it with this knife. It'll go well with this series that I'm doing with how this knife is holding up, so I thought I'd show you what actually I put it through. So I got a bunch of cardboard set out here. It's various thicknesses, and I'll just basically start cutting this up for you. This is pretty much what I put this knife through during an 8-hour day at work. There, it's usually pretty thick cardboard, either thick regular cardboard or the double-walled. You can see with this thinner stuff, it really doesn't have a problem. It treats it pretty much like paper. Makes quick work of it. I should probably show you the edge the way it is now. See if you could see this. So it is shaving sharp. You can see that there. So just continuing on this thin stuff. You see it flies through no problem. A lot of people sort of discredit Spyderco's Sabre Ground knives for the fact that they don't actually cut as well as a full flat ground, but they still do the job. I really do like hollow ground blades for the fact that you could actually sharpen them a little easier, I find, because you can use the clamp systems. See, this makes short work of it. So moving on to a little bit thicker cardboard. Just your standard pizza box here. Most of this is just out of the blue box. I figure I'd do a double duty in making this video for you and taking out some trash. You see with this little bit of, we'll call this a medium cardboard, still has no trouble whatsoever. There is a little bit of binding just due to the actual thickness of the blade stock here, but still no problem. There's no hot spots in my hands. That's to be expected. This isn't really a hard task I'm doing right now to this knife. Really more a medium to light task for this knife. With the lock and with the blade steel and the sharpness that you're able to get this, it's capable of a lot more. Just moving up to your standard like appliance box. This stuff's a little different the way it's constructed. It doesn't have the honeycomb pattern, it's more layered, so the knife acts a little different through it. It's actually a little tougher going through certain directions. You can see it's able to make very long cuts without binding. I'm sorry for smacking the camera there. Very short work of this. You really have to get up to the really thick cardboard before you get any sort of hot spots in your hand. Right now it's comfortable. So just check the edge retention once again. Still razor sharp. Still taking the hair off just as easy. You can see that. I've been really happy with the edge retention of S30V. I haven't actually found it that difficult to sharpen. I do use diamond stones though, so it does eliminate some of the problems, some of the hassles, sharpening knives. This is getting into a little bit more standard thickness of cardboard. Hope you could see that there. So this is usually where people start saying that full flat ground knives, blades, cut better, and they are right. They do cut with less restriction, with less drag to the blade, but still, I'm just hitting the choil there. Still makes pretty short work of this thicker cardboard here. Very clean cutter. Let's see if I could get a long slice here. You see right there, it has really no problem going through a length of anything. You can see here that it's where it's glued together. That's getting into what the thickness of the double-walled cardboard is. So just going through that, you do have to put a little more force into it, but still it cuts through it easily. This knife is really a joy to use. Usually flatter handle knives, for me at least, no matter what, will give me some sort of pain over time in the hand. Right now, no discomfort whatsoever. I have used this knife for a length of time where it has given me a hot spot, and I can tell you right now, it's usually for me right in the pinky finger area. It's never given me a blister though. I use certain techniques so I avoid blisters. If you, I'll just show you. If you start to feel that you might be getting a blister, smack your hands together seriously as hard as you can. I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but that gets the blood flowing back into your hands, and blood flowing back into that restricted area that forms a blister, and it will make a callus rather than a blister. This is true, so just trying to help you guys out. You see here, really no problem. The last piece I got here is the thicker stuff. Really rigid, very sturdy. This is more the stuff that I usually cut down at work. Usually product boxes, anything that has to be kept for any sort of length of period on a shelf or in the back room. It has to be a fairly sturdy cardboard to stand storing for like months on end. So I'll just break this down so it's a little easier to work with. You see there, it got caught on the choil. It's the only thing I could really say bad about this knife. Having a finger choil like that takes away from the length of blade you have to use. And as you can see as I'm cutting this stuff up, it does get caught on there every now and then due to, we'll say, user error. So going through this thicker stuff, you got to make sure you got a good grip on it so it doesn't pull it out of your hands. That's more due to the saber ground blade of this. I really wish I could get a FFG Manix to compare the two. I might, but funds are getting a little tight right now, so I'm holding off any really expensive purchases at the moment. And that would be an expensive purchase to me. You can see really where a full flat ground blade outshines a saber ground when it comes to thicker material. You can see it binding. Oh, it is because there is a staple there. I didn't notice that before. Shit. There's no mark on the actual edge. The edge is fine. I'll see if I could show this to you. You see if you can see the little scuff marks there. That's actually a scratch in the blade. There is a staple holding a certain part of box together. I didn't see that before I tried this. Just goes to show you the quality of the steel. There's no nick, there's no gouge in the fine edge. There's just a little bit of a scuff mark, if that. That's why I'm always impressed with this knife. I mean, I've opened up a pop can with this thing. I've cut open a pop can. I've yet to open a soup can with it, but I've heard people do that no problem. Just goes to show you that if you do pay a little more for your knives, that you could do a little more with them without worry. I mean, if I was using a 8CR13 MOV blade and I ran into that staple, there would have been a definite gouge into my cutting edge. You can see that it does make short work of this. I usually opt to use a knife like this rather than the standard box cutter we're issued at work. It's funner. You guys know that, right? Just showing you some piercing of this. Relatively easy. It does have a nice fine point to it. The problem with piercing with this knife is when you retract it. I do find the Spyderco hole does get snagged on cardboard and any sort of material that happens to go up that far to the blade. I think it's sort of like it pushes into that hole and then it sort of wedges it. I've experienced this with my Tenacious also, so that is not a factor of full flat ground versus saber ground knives. Really an awesome knife to use. If you have one, you guys already know that, and I'll keep suggesting it. If you've been looking for this knife and been wanting one, I say go out and get it. You will not be disappointed. I've never heard that serious of a problem with these, and Spyderco's customer service is really awesome, so you should always be set up with them. But just show you the final edge sharpness. See if it actually dulled any. See if I got hair left on my arm. So yeah, it's still the same sharpness. You can see it's still taking off plenty of hair. I imagine there's some portions here on the blade that are less sharp than when I started, but it's still taking hair off in all the length of the blade. So especially that spot that I ran into the staple with, it's still very sharp. So I'm gonna end this video here. I thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more testing videos. Thanks everyone.